Alrighty, fellas, good morning. It is Sicktrouski here. How are we doing today in this December winter gaming period? Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, communication, discussion, and what's happening inside the PokeMMO community. What are we covering today? What a great question. First things first, catch events as per normal. Catch events are a fantastic way to win free shinies, win free premium currency like RP reward points prior to upcoming events like the Xmas event coming up. The Xmas event, we're about 15 days away as I'm recording, so that's really exciting. Make sure to prepare now. This is like the final period. Like once you enter that 2-week mark, it is going to become, if you start preparing 10 days away verse 14 to 15, it is about to become detrimentally more difficult. Golden Kappa in Twitch chat, what the hell? It is about to become detrimentally more difficult to prepare for events for Xmas event if you don't start preparing right now. Like right now is kind of the cutoff in my opinion. If you start preparing 14 days in advance, I think you have time. You can do, you know, most things, but if you start preparing 10 to 8 days out, you're gonna miss out on your ability to do a lot of things, my personal opinion. So make sure to get your raid mons prepped. I have guides on my channel, check those out. But let's get back to the catch events. First things first, shiny Golett catch event coming up on Saturday the 13th of December. There's 3 catch events coming up this weekend or so. 13th, the Saturday of December at 11 a.m. ET over at Dragon Spiral Tower in Unova. Thank you for the bits, goodness gracious, the cow emoji. You're catching Golett and Altaria for 1 hour. Here's your species bonuses, and there is a chance for a shiny Golett as well as some free RP along the way. You also have a Cacturn catch event coming up on Sunday the 14th of December at 1 p.m. ET over at Route 228 in Sinnoh. You're gonna be catching Cacturn, Cacnea, Rhydon, and Hippo. Here are your nature bonuses on screen right now, as well as here are your prizes with a shiny Cacnea with 3 times 28 and 3 selectable IVs, probably 3 times 31 in like special attack, and probably like HP. You could go speed, I guess, but it's kind of awkward. It's a slow Pokemon, plus 1,000 RP if you're an Iron Man account or a normal account. That's incredibly helpful. Next up, the final catch event on Friday the 19th of December. The final catch event scheduled so far. This is at 6 p.m. ET over in the Johto Safari Zone over in the forest area. You have 1 hour to catch Misdrevious, Abra, Bellsprout, Haunter, and Ghastly, as many as possible, and then submit your best or worst catch for a chance to win a shiny Misdrevious plus some RP along the way. These are competitive shiny Pokemon you can win for free by just catching some Pokemon, making some Pokeyen, and having that chance at an overarching prize. I absolutely adore catch events. I think they're amazing. They're incredibly efficient for Iron Man accounts and really fun and still pretty good for main accounts, especially when they're good shiny prizes. That's when like they really pop off for main accounts. Next up, let's go ahead and jump into our community achievement showcase, one of my favorite segments, a way to shout out hardworking Pokemon players, number one, and then also give you guys some ideas of what to do, what to hunt for, some goals. The most important thing to answer in PokeMMO is what goals should I have? What do I want to do in the game? And creating those goals is super important. First things first, we have one of the best single encounter shunners of all time, Effie Burke, one of the goats of the PokeMMO community, just phased. He is apparently going for a shiny Hitmontop / Hitmonchan, which is literally one of the rarest single encounter shinies to go for in the wild. I believe, he could correct me, he would know better than me, but I believe it's like a 1 to 2% spawn rate for either of them here. So like he is gonna have to go for anywhere from 50 to 100 wild shinies before he gets the one he wants. Literally 50 to 100 phases if my math or understanding of the rates here are correct. These Pokemon are extremely rare, and he got himself at 1 phase here. He got himself a shiny Arbok. Yeah, this is light work for him. 1 shiny Arbok along the way. It's 31 speed. He also got this at like 300 encounters, 347 or something like that encounters. So just light work for the King Effie Burke and just insane progress working towards an insane goal, which a lot of times if I heard someone working towards a crazy goal like this, I'd be a little skeptical, but I would still root for them. Effie Burke, I know, is going to complete it one day. It's just going to take years and years of shunting. Maybe he'll do it faster. He's just very talented, big grinder. Next up, someone, well, who's the name of the person? Let me go double check the name really quick. 1 sec, but I want to make sure I credit this appropriately. But a player was going for Stonk King. Stonk King is the name of this player. He wanted to go catch some wild Plusles to start to get a breed going to have an OT Plusle for upcoming raids in the Xmas event. And the very first Plusle he caught was 31 special attack, 31 speed, mild nature. I thought that was really cool. Having those wild caught competitive mons is always a lot of fun. He can just straight up EV train, XP train this and get himself a raid ready Pokemon ready to go. I love catching mons. I love like wild caught competitive just hold a special place in my heart because back in the day in 2013 they were way more exciting and viable and interesting and like all these cool things. So I just love shouting those out. Next up, a player got their first ever shiny. Thank you, Oso, for the sub. Sorry for the loud noises, but I'll thank you properly here in a quick sec. A player got his first ever shiny, and the way he just expressed his feelings over this is what Shiny Hunting's all about. And also, like, it brings me back to a beautiful time. You know, he said, I'm literally shaking. I was just trying to get some XP to do the Kanto Elite 4 and level up my Starmie. And under like 15 sweet cents, under 50 encounters, this guy got himself a shiny Sand Slash. That is a really cool moment for Dill.wave, I guess. Dude, congratulations to him. It's a really cool thing. Your first shiny is so special. Your first shiny is just such a special feeling. It makes you believe in yourself and feel confident and feel like it's possible to continue hunting more shinies. It's very comparable to your first ever 99 in RuneScape. If you ever played that game, I think it's a really, really monumental moment. So congratulations to him. Next up, this comes from a player named Sadience in Discord. Sadience was catching his Tyrannotars over in Mount Silver. If you don't know, you get all these really cool, amazingly statted IVs, you know, Tyrannotars from completing your Pokedex, unlocking Mount Silver. I think it's one of the coolest things in Pokemon was they added the Mount Silver reward for completing your Pokedex. Prior to that, there was not really a reward for completing your Pokedex. And Sadience got himself a 5x31 wild Tyranitar catch. Not only that, but the last stat being 27, making it a 182 out of 186 wild catch is ludicrous. Now, this Tyranitar is guaranteed some stats, so it's not as crazy as like a wild, pure 5x31. I think it's like two. I think this is 2 or 3x31 guaranteed. I think it's 2x31 guaranteed. So this is the equivalent of getting like a 3x31, but then like some extra. It's a really, really like rarity wise. This is like a 1 in, I think it's like a 1 in 1,078, something around those numbers. But it's just a really, really crazy, insanely crazy catch. Insanely good Tyranitar. Congratulations to Sadience. Next up, I can't confirm 100% whether this is real or not. I don't know if there was enough. I'm just skeptical of things like this because this is so fucking rare. But what's also crazy, so this is 2 shinies in 1 horde. We have now seen like 5 to 10 of these within PokeMMO, which is batshit because I want to say 3 years ago, we had only ever seen this occurrence because it is so monumentally rare. 3 years ago, we had only ever seen this like 2 times. This had only ever happened like 2 times in the history of PokeMMO. Oh, like, so what's the math on that? Like, for the first, the game's been out for 13 years now. Dude, I'm terrible at math. For the first decade, for the first 10 years of this game's history, this had only happened like 2 or 3 times, right? For the first 10 years, we only saw this 2 or 3 times. This has now happened like 5 to 10. We have seen this happen like so much more. The rate is so crazy. Now there's been a we've lost track. There's a lot of clips of these on Bilibili as well. A lot of Chinese players get these, and it's harder for the English community to always find out about these things. I don't know the math. Someone can crunch the numbers, some math king or queen or person of royalty in the comments, but the odds of this are just astronomical, and it's fucking terrifying because you have to then kill one of these shinies. If you get 2 shinies in 1 horde, you have to kill one. You cannot catch both. I would be open to, someone once said, what if they buffed Master Ball to where if you threw a Master Ball, it meant you instantly caught every Pokemon in like a ×5 horde. I think honestly, I think it's a great, like, it's a very niche thing, but if you wanted to use one of your like 5 ever Master Balls to be able to catch both shinies in a horde, I think it's a great, I honestly think it's a fantastic way to, it's a weird, really niche situation, but I think it's a cool idea. So shout out to, this is from Buggy is the player, and he did end up catching one and showed the one that he caught. Came out Adamant Nature, 31 Spadef with some other decent stats. This was at 7,400 or so with total encounters dry. This is just an insane situation. Rip GG's is the nicest thing to say to Buggy because he couldn't catch both, and that's the saddest part of that situation. But to even get to thank him for screenshotting it, I think we've only ever had, still to this day, I think we've only ever had one of these on camera. There was one streamer, which thank Arceus, he was fucking streaming and recording it. There was one streamer, I believe. We've seen a few screenshots, but I still believe that there's only one like video footage of a double encounter, of a double thing happening. It was the double area dose. It was the 2 area doses, if I recall correctly. There might have been a Dusk as well then. Maybe there's 2. There was a player who got 2 area doses. One thing, it's hard to track this stuff because it's just so, it's been so many years, right? There was the Ariados streamer who got 2 Ariadoses, 1 Horde, and that was a groundbreaking moment in PokeMMO history when someone actually finally live streamed this happening. Oh my god, it was insane. Are you feeling better today, Pat? I'm honored you care about my physical health. I am decently sick, probably just like the flu or something like that, but I'll be okay, and I can play video games. Not a big deal, right? I probably feel, and I know a lot of people are also sick right now, so I'm recording this clip for the kings and queens and sick, you know, people of royalty out there. I'm not feeling any, like, physically I'm probably sicker. If anything, this is probably my peak sick day is like right now or yesterday. What I can say, what I do recommend, get yourself, it's like the only thing I tried, Dayquil does not help, other cough medicines. Get yourself some Vicks Vapor Rub. I do like the off-brand, like the dollar, you know, for like $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Yeah, if you are sick and you've never tried it, get yourself some Vicks Vapor Rub or whatever. It's not for everybody. It's kind of icky. You like rub it on your chest, but oh my goodness, this stuff, it's like magic. It literally is the closest thing we have in society to, like, in my opinion, it is so ridiculously effective. Let me see if I could get it on screen, like an image, so you guys can see. A lot of you guys might know, you know, if you've, you know, had some of this in your cabinet growing up or whatever. Oh my god, it's the best. This stuff is actually magic. I'm a big fan of it. Big fan, definitely recommend it. If you're sick, if you're going through flu season like I am, I recommend some Vicks Vapor Rub. You can get it, you know, it's meta, it's not even, it's like secret off meta technology, bro. Actually, hashtag ad, I fucking wish I was sponsored by Vicks, okay? Their product is literally magic. But yeah, go get yourself some Vicks Rub. Feel better if you're sick as well. A lot of people are suffering through flu season. We'll get out of it okay, soldiers. You know, let's play some PokeMMO. Shout out to Oso, who just paid 10,000 channel points over on Twitch. If you want to earn channel points for free and get fun redemptions like this, like shouting out a shiny you just got. You even named it Lairon Pog. It's really wholesome. Bro asked me, Oso asked me like the other day, what should I go shiny hunt? Should I go to Bagon or should I go to Lairon? And I was like, how many encounters are you at? And I said, you should go shiny hunt Lairon until 19,000 encounters and then go switch to Bagon. And he ended up getting the shiny Lairon at 10,000 encounters. Phenomenal under this blue dude, in the blue and the red eyes. Beautiful, underrated, very undershunted Pokemon. The IVs he got on that thing as well, on top of the jolly nature. An insane wild shiny, 31 attached, an insane Pokemon. Congrats, Oso. Yeah, someone in chat said I usually only play during events, but I didn't know about mysterious balls and how to, you know, about the Pokeballs. I think I'll be playing a lot this year. I do want to remind people, in my opinion, I think mysterious balls during Xmas are some of the best balls in the game. I think that historically it's always different. No one can predict a market. Please take this at your own risk. But like historically, I've made some of the most money in my PokeMMO history investing in mysterious balls during the Xmas event. I love Xmas mysterious balls. I think that I think there's so much potential in investments with them. You have to make the biggest skill-based thing is finding where the bottom out is. You have to find out where the bottom out is and actually buy, because let's say like the great balls, right? Like if the mysterious great balls from 2025 come out and they're like 80k in the first, you know, few days, don't buy that shit off. Like, you cannot be buying things at like super high prices and then expect to make investments. You want to wait until they bottom out, and knowing when they bottom out is the hard part. So like using frame of reference and using rarities and things like that. It's important to note that mysterious great balls from 2023 are the best mysterious, arguably the best mysterious ball we've ever seen in the game, but the best mysterious great ball by far. They had a 1 in 4,000 shiny rate versus 2025s, or 2024s, excuse me, were 1 in 6,000. I'm assuming that 2025s will also be 1 in 6,000, but if we see them return to this rate, that would be really crazy. Or even get like, or maybe they'll get like less. Maybe it'll be like 1 in 8k. They'll nerf them. I don't know what to see. But just keep an eye out, keep those rates in mind, and keep previous year's prices in mind when you make these investments. These are not good. Don't ignore these because these don't have a reduction if I recall correctly. But I love mysterious balls during Xmas event. I've made a lot of money investing on them. It's all about timing and making your own prediction. Nobody knows for sure, but I'm excited to cover some investment guides and investment content during Xmas. No, this is a really interesting talking point. Someone said they'll definitely peak again during Shiny Wars 2026, surely. I don't even think Mysterious Balls peaked during Shiny Wars 2025. They peaked before the wars even started. And it's because I was trying to say, like, this is a good example of something that I was very wrong on. And I predicted this incredibly incorrect. It was totally the opposite. I thought that Mysterious Balls would be really bad, would be like broken in Shiny Wars. I thought they'd be like really bad for the integrity. I was really against allowing Mysterious Balls to be usable in Shiny Wars, in PokeMMO, the official wars. I was so wrong. Mysterious balls cost so much Pokeyen, and the points you get, like, it's just not worth. You'd rather buy fossils or buy dittos and go for eggs or like a rare, you know? Like, mysterious balls, even though they save so much time, they're just so expensive, and your Pokeyen is better spent in other ways. Mysterious balls ended up being like not very good during Shiny Wars. Like, they're still good if you have infinite money theoretically, but like, they're so much worse than fossils or eggs, right? Nobody has infinite money. People are rich, yeah, but nobody has like infinite money, you know? So I was super wrong. I was super incorrect, and it's really important to say that, you know? Mysterious balls, I don't think rise due to Shiny Wars as much anymore, and I wouldn't count on that in terms as an investor, in my opinion. This is a fantastic question. What are the recent mysterious balls at? I don't think they've moved much at all, which is honestly really, let's do a double check, but like really interesting. Mysterious, I always mistype this. Mysterious Dusk. I don't think they've moved much at all since the event, which to me, can I see like further back, like in like October? I wish I could see further back. It tells me, in my opinion, what this tells me is that people just properly predicted what these are worth. Like, if these have not moved up at all, and it hasn't been that long, people are saving their Pokeyen. I even think, I've said this for a while, I think there's a decent chance that the mysterious dust balls from this year actually drop in price during the upcoming Xmas event. Something that you want to watch out for. Some of my greatest success in the past in investing in PokeMMO is taking advantage of people with lack of patience. A lot of people will buy the mysterious dust balls during the Halloween event, come back for the Christmas event, not have prepared, not have made raid Pokemon, not have made Pokeyen, all these things, and then just sell all of their investments from the previous event to fund the next event. And it's like chasing the next dopamine high. It's like chasing the next, like, and you're never gonna win that way. So I'm curious to see if mysterious dust ball prices do drop during Xmas event, and if they do, I might pick some up. That would be like when I invest, if I do. But I'm curious to see, because they are good. The fact that they have the alphas that they have in them is like really unique. The fact that mysterious dust balls 2024s are the only way, the only mechanic in the entire game that bring thing like alpha Ramparduses, you know, all the alpha Fossilmons, alpha Lileeps, alpha Cradleys. The only way that these Pokemon come into the game is from those dust balls, which is really interesting, which is why you see things like Hidden Ability Manectric, right? Hidden Ability Manectric being so damn expensive and so rare, because these only came from mysterious cherish balls. So these limited mons to the balls is something really important to factor in and watch out for when figuring out investments or price, you know, futures for these items. I've invested 17 million dust balls in my main account. I still think it's a really good investment. Like, I really do like the dust balls. I love all mysterious balls as an investment. I don't want people to feel like they need to like panic. Once again, don't panic sell. Don't be that person. If anything, buy the dip. And like, if they drop during Xmas, like double down on your investment, in my opinion, do your own, you know, risks. But something I try to preach is like, as education spreads, as PokeMMO becomes more competitive in terms of investments, we're gonna see those returns drop, right? The more people fighting over a piece of the pie, the smaller the piece gets. And to be fair, like, the piece of the pie was just so big in PokeMMO for so long. The fact that I was able to buy mysterious great balls during like Xmas 2024 at like 38k a ball, and then them double to like 70,000, 80,000 Pokeyen within like 3 to 4 months, like, that's a 100% ROI or return on investment in 3 to 4 months is asinine. It's insane. It's insanity. Like, that's an insanely high, like, that should not be happening, you know? For reference, in the real world, in like normal, I'm not, you know, econ loser, not that, no, I respect, it's one of those stuff like, econ is actually very cool and interesting, but unfortunately a lot of people who get into it make it their whole personality, but it actually is a very beautiful topic. It's one of those things, right? So I shouldn't say econ loser, that's not really fair, but I'm not, you know, I'm not a huge like econ bro, that's the best way to put it. But for those who don't know, the average investment on like average stock market stuff is 8%. So like an 8% return yearly, an annual 8% ROI is like considered good. That's a good average ROI. And I think eventually in PokeMMO we're gonna get down to like 10 to 20% annually being like the ROI, but right now like it's getting more and more competitive, but we still have some crazy ROIs sometimes for sure. Well, it's really interesting you bring this up, Blento. Pat, is it worth to sell Sandiles right now and earn like 50 to 60,000 Pokeyen for EV training them, and then double blah, 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 I don't know what the rest is, but in my opinion, I'll say that I'll keep it on the down low, but I've been exploring some money making methods on my main accounts, and some of the most success I've had has been EV training and like selling storyline Pokemon. Things like you know, I think there's some real potential. There is some. I've been testing money making methods on my main account because a lot of people are having a hard time making Pokeyen, understandably. I think that there are actually right now in PokeMMO there are a lot of money making methods that make 400k Pokeyen per hour. Like there are a lot of from a few hours of research and just hopping on my main account after like 6 months of not playing it, not checking the market. From my experience over the past 2 to 3 weeks, I've been keep checking the market. I have already found multiple money making methods that make 400k plus Pokeyen per hour. However, there is a kicker. Okay, it's not just like unlimited. The kicker is that things do take a very long time to sell right now. There's no getting around that. Sales are slower. Getting your money back is slower. But you can put in, I've done multiple methods now where you can put in 30 minutes of work, get 200,000 Pokeyen, but it might take 2 weeks to get the actual profit. You have to like wait, you know. And that's the hard part. Like a lot of players getting into PokeMMO want to rush and want to do it all, and I get when you're really sucked into a game, I totally get that, right? It makes a lot of sense. Thank you for the cool Duder membership. But honestly, what that's better for, if you're someone who works a 9 to 5, has a wife and kids, is super busy, and doesn't have a whole lot of time to play PokeMMO, it's actually never been better for you, because you can like go do a method like EV training some storyline mons, make insanely high profit per hour, but you don't get that capital back. So you can, but like you just like play an hour a day, wait for your listings to sell passively. Like that's even better if you're not like rushing through things and need your capital back to like flip and do all these things. As a casual player, you can make really good Pokeyen right now. You do just have to be patient. Waiting for your listings to sell has never been more important in the current economy. It's always the case leading up to events because people are holding their Pokeyen. They're saving for investments. I always tell people, save up Pokeyen prior to event seasons for investments and flexibilities. That's what people are doing. So a lot of people are saving their yen rather than spending it, but you got to spend some money to make money. And there's a lot of, you know, people are still spending money to make money and things like that. So figure out. Right now, more than ever, you have to be creative in the Pokemon market and find what you can do, a service or what you can sell to help others make money. You're trying to like get, you know, if Jimmy runs are really good, go check Syndical prices, go check Typhlosions. How much money can you make EV trading those, XP trading those, breeding those, catching those? You want to like backtrack. A lot of the Pokemon economy is finding out what makes money and then going back and backtracking and figuring out how can I utilize that moneymaker to make even more money. I absolutely love what you're doing, Toaster. Toaster in chat said, yes, in my first event season, I've decided to only focus on the non-raid parts of the event to not get overwhelmed. I'm a big fan of this. I think your first event season is just so overwhelming. There's so much to learn, so many new mechanics, so many new things. I don't recommend investing. You can if you want to, obviously, but I don't recommend investing in your first event. I don't recommend spending. I think for your first event, you only need like 1 to 3 mil Pokeyen saved up for flexibility. I don't even recommend, like, if you want to try raids, you can. But I recommend like using your first event season and your first few events to build up capital. Just grind the events, catch the swarm Pokemon, earn mysterious balls, earn the sealed product, you know, use it to grind up your front capital. And then in the future, you can snowball year 2, make investments, build up your raid mons. I will say, if you're not building raid mons now as a newer player, I recommend using the upcoming Xmas event, and especially Lunar New Year events are really good from scratch. Last year, I created a brand new account from scratch and was able to not only participate in the Lunar New Year event, but make over 1 million Pokeyen from scratch on a brand new account in like less than 16 hours of gameplay. Like, the Lunar New Year event is fantastic, and potentially the Xmas one I will have to see. Fantastic from scratch money making. Even new players can kick ass in events. Do not let other players tell you otherwise. But if you're a newer player and you're not preparing raid mons now, I would vehemently recommend starting to prepare raid mons like after event season ends, which will be in like March/late February. So like I would say March and April, or take a break if you want to from the game. Obviously, the event season is exhausting, but like I would definitely recommend starting to prepare for the next event season early. Don't wait until like fucking October or August to prepare for next year's event season. If you're a newer player and you're not preparing this year, I would start preparing raid mons in like March or April. Wait, I just saw someone in live time. Wait a minute. Was it in normal chat? Someone in live time just said, ooh, shiny over here. Oh, they actually got, wait, that, come on, I can't even see it because come on, the window, hello? But dude, congrats. This person literally just typed in normal chat like, oh shit, shiny. I love seeing like live shinies like this, whether from friends or teammates, or even just from people who are in the local area, like while you're like XP trading together. One of the coolest moments to see in PokeMMO. Congrats to this guy. Hopefully he's able to catch it safely. This is looking a little scary, to be honest. The sturdiest. Ooh, I'm hoping this guy's okay. This is a little scary, but I'm hoping he's... Good luck to this guy. Good luck to you. Good luck to you, man. This is a great question. I have actually a video. I have 2 more Xmas prep guides coming out this weekend covering specific topics around the event and aimed at more specific players, like a beginner's guide, for example, coming out. I'm pretty excited for this weekend's videos. But someone said, will donor status let you skip queue during the next holiday event? Yes. Having a donor status active does help you skip login queue, which can matter for Xmas events or any events where, you know, the player base is very active, very excited. However, there is a legitimate question. If you want to use donor status, you know, you should, if you know, whatever, right? But I would really think about how many people, if the event drops on December 25th, how many people are going to be willing to take away time from their family to actually go play PokeMMO. If any event out of Halloween, Xmas, Lunar New Year, if any event were to not have a login queue, it would probably be Christmas, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that might be the one event where like people are busy, people are doing other things, like vehemently so. Obviously all the events, yes, but like very much so, you know. So I would say, also, if you're like super active and you're super online, you might be able to just log in and dodge it. If you want to pop a donor status, I think doing it around December 24th in the afternoon or evening is the best time. Keep an eye out. It can matter. Being one of the first people to log in the first hours often does make you a ton of Pokeyen. Being able to go get those mysterious balls, those vanities, and sell them very quickly. Like the first few hours of Pokeyen is pretty darn huge. So it's just something you have to kind of come to your own conclusion on, but hopefully that helps you a little bit. All right, I do want to go ahead and open my advent calendar present from my beautiful wife. Let me go ahead. We pre-picked this out today. She's in office today at work, so we pre-picked out. This is the present that I'm opening. WWife/WifeGuy in chat. I know, ZZZ, boring. He has a wife, by the way. I don't know if you guys know. He mentions it very rarely. True, true, true. It feels like a picture frame. She said this would be a good one to... Okay, this is... She said that this would be a really good one to show on stream. And now I see why. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, I have to explain this. This is a screenshot in a game called Dungeon Defenders on my side YouTube channel called Retro Pat. And I said that this was one of my proudest gaming accomplishments ever, okay? I play a pretty niche game. This is actually insane. I play a pretty niche game called Dungeon Defenders. One of my favorite games I've ever played, okay? And I love that game, and I made like hundreds of YouTube videos of me playing that game just for fun, right? The developers of that game were so amazing, so nice, that just because I made so many YouTube videos about the game, they put me in the game. They added a little present in the game last Christmas event that said for Retro Pat, which is, you know, and I told my wife this is one of my proudest gaming accomplishments was to be like put into a game. Was just like, it's surreal, you know. This is, oh my god. WWife/WifeGuy, I know, but this is like one of my this is amazing. I can't wait to have this displayed. One of my proudest gaming accomplishments. That is so fucking cool. All right, and there is the final horde of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed another Sicktrouski stream. Like the stream if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Subscribe to me on YouTube for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. Check me out. My Discord's linked down below if you want to go above and beyond and support the content. It is really helpful during these holiday seasons, but if you only do it if you can afford it, and if my content has helped you enough, that's really important to earn it, you know, earn it from you. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Have a good one. Peace, Reno.
Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here. I wanted to take this second to say thank you so much for watching the entire video. It is thanks to people like you I'm able to make the content that I do, as well as everybody whose name is listed here. That's it for me. Have a fantastic day.